What's up? We're a little rusty on setting up the podcast this
Yeah, we
morning.
missed a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, we've been busy like always.
And
Yeah.
I went to China.
You went to China. This
Yeah.
episode of FTWG, episode 41, is sponsored by Luckin Coffee. No, I'm just kidding. But I wish from
Yeah.
what you're talking about it.
Yeah, no, I learned a lot by going there. I'll post a thing on Instagram too, which has been kind of like my trip summary. I was gonna do it in I was gonna do it here for our podcast, but I made a mistake and shot everything vertical, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna post it on Instagram if you go check it out.
Gotta do horizontal.
Yeah,
On the vlog trips.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
time I'll probably do both, but I learned a lot that I wanted to talk a little bit about here. What my takeaway is
About China.
about China.
China. I'm gonna come with you next time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
I gotta go
a
out.
very my suggestion is if you can't go there physically, which is really amazing to actually see what's happening in a country that's booming. I mean, it's really what you don't see in the news here is that they don't really talk about all the things China's doing. So we're kind of in our own bubble, I feel, in the U.S. We've always been sort of like the leader in what other parts of the world look at, like what's America up to. And that's been the way it's been for a long time, many decades, I think, especially China looking at the West to see what we're up to and how they could emulate us and sort of become more like a Western culture. I think that was their admiration. We were the admiration of a lot of countries that aspired to have some of the luxuries and cultural things that we have. And we still, I think, lead in a lot of that ways. But what I've found in going to China over the few years, I've been there a few times now, but especially this last trip and what's going on in our country and their country and the world right now is there's a big a global what's the word? It's sort of like there's things that are changing.
A shift.
Yeah. It's a global shift in economies and in culture as well. So a lot of people think still that China's sort of like they copy stuff and then they make crappy stuff and they're third world in a lot of ways, and they're it's maybe there's a lot of low standard of living there, but that's not true anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
my
anymore.
friends.
In the last 40 years they've leapfrogged, but because they're so good at copying, what China does really well is they copy something, but they make it better in some way or another. In one way that they did at the beginning was made it cheaper.
Yeah.
So that was the lure for that was sort of like what made America go, we got to go to China to make stuff because they can make it cheaper. The trouble was in the earlier years, I'm talking about maybe 30, 40 years ago, maybe even 25 years ago, the quality was crappy. So if I tried to make trucks, for example, there, I was just to set the record straight, I think I'm one of the last companies to go to China. That's because all the big players like Independent and Venture Thunder, all these guys that were the top game of truck making went to China first. Okay, let's set that record straight. GrindKing is one of the last truck companies to leave the U.S. manufacturing.
You were grumpy about it.
I am grumpy because I wanted to stay here. I was like, why does a company, Independent owns its own foundry?
Yeah, yeah.
And why would they move to China? If I had my own factory, I would think I'd want to keep it here. But nope, they went to China.
Yeah.
So that tells you something.
Mass production. At the time, it was just probably...
Well, there's, first you think, well, they did it because they're greedy or they're just trying to cut costs, make more money. Maybe that's some of it, but the other reason is that it just makes more sense. Yeah. Like I now understand why Indy went there, because when there's a big fundamental difference in how China does business versus us. if especially now in states like California, where there's tons of rules and regulations on environmental stuff, and you got to get a permit for this and a permit for that. I mean here, you got to get if you want to, you got to get a dance permit, even if you want to. If you want to dance in this country and open up a place for dancing, you have to get a dance permit.
So many loops you have to jump through just to start a small business, especially in California.
Especially in California, there's so many regulations with the environment, and just it's just a quagmire of stuff you have to go through. It's just insane.
I live like right next door to LADBS, and I always see the same faces walking in and out of there every day, and they're like going there almost the whole year.
Yeah,
probably with to do the planning for their building, just to get something built.
Here's where what I that basically just the bottom line is, and I could talk for a long time but China's killing it, like killing us even. Like they already won everyone's going to say America. Some people say America first. That is so gone. It's America, and we are nowhere near first anymore. In I would say, is in technology, we're definitely not. I mean, there's certain things people will find exceptions rule, but overall, we are way behind on that. We're also way behind on, and I know a lot of people are going to be hating on this. We are way behind militarily.
Careful, dude. Is that a knock? I think ICE is coming to get you.
Yeah. No, you don't want to go at war with China right now, because China's they're already in a situation where I think they would.
Do you see that new jet?
Well, yeah, several new jets. Well, see, China's smart because they don't just come out with a new jet. They come out with a new jet and a new aircraft carrier and a new everything. So everything's tied together. They're the way that they do their air strategic stuff, because if you have air superiority and naval superiority, you win. There's no way around that, and they have both. They can make. This is not an exaggeration. They can make 230 times. I'm not. Imagine if you could make twice as much as I could, or 10 times much. I'd be like, oh my God, I wouldn't want to fight you. They can make 230 times more boats than we can. Ships.
Faster than
I'm not exaggerating. Yeah. So that means that for one aircraft carrier or boat that we make, they can make 230.
Yeah.
So game over. I mean, sorry, I'm not trying to, yay for China. I'm just facts. I mean, I've been watching this stuff. And
there's a great Rogan podcast recently with that the guy who started Oculus, and he owns a defense company. Like he makes weapons, and he was talking about the capability of China to produce. They were the sleeping dragon that just awoke, and now it's kind of done. I mean, you can't even like argue the fact anymore. It's not even close. It's not even like they're kind of. It's like they're so far ahead that's beyond fixing. And my thoughts to that is sort of like, good for them. I mean, they worked hard for that. We were fighting wars and all this stuff over the last 40 years, and they were building infrastructure. Mm-hmm. The one thing that they have that's not military, there's not even a competition here, is that high-speed rail. Yeah.
How come we're supposed to be the most, big, best country, America first, and we have no high-speed rail? Like, who dropped the ball on that?
Yeah.
I mean, I should be able to get on a train right now and go to New York faster pretty much than I could book an airport.
In like 8 hours. It should be like an hour to San Francisco.
Well, okay, so this is how crazy China is. China has more high-speed rail than every country in the world put together, okay? If you took all of Europe, all of Japan, China has more, okay? And how much does America have of high-speed rail?
Zero.
And not fucking one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so it just blows my mind how we dropped the ball in that. Like, how come I'm not going to San Francisco or New York on a train this weekend just to have fun?
My guess at one point is that we had the largest rail system in the world.
Yeah.
Not high speed, but at a time we
Yeah.
kind of probably innovated in that and then just kind of left it behind as
I mean, it blows my. So when you see that now, get this. This is how nuts China is because their engineering skills are. The big takeaway. I'll get to the bottom line right now. We should be copying China. China's copied us. It's our turn to copy China. And if we don't copy them, we're cooked. Like seriously cooked because they're so far ahead right now in these things that are important, like transportation, like infrastructure, like in engineering. And the reason why they they lead and how they got there in 40 freaking years, which is insanely short time to go from a poor country to a country that is going to be, if not already, the number one economy in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just don't copy the human right violations part, and then we're golden.
Yeah,
keep it.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody's perfect. They're not a perfect country. They have problems that we have.
But America's a perfect country.
Yeah, we're perfect. Yeah,
we're perfect. We've never harmed anybody.
We set the example.
Yeah, no human rights violations.
Yeah, we don't do anything bad.
Yeah,
but
we just write the history books.
Yeah, so I mean, America is a great country, but it's lost its lost its way, and this is how China operates, which I want to learn from because I can apply it to our business, and you guys out there should consider it as well too if you're trying to do something in business or just have an opportunity ahead. You know, when you have something that's just killing it and you see that there's explosive growth like you see in China, take notes. You know, don't compete. Like competing is the wrong frame of mind. So that's why I have a trouble with America first, because it's sort of like it's like a sports game. No, it's not. This is a world that we all live in, and it's about the greater good of humanity. So you want to do what China is doing, which is building roads and infrastructure, not just in China, but in other countries like Africa. Mm-hmm. You know, America used to be known to help all these other countries, but now China's leading the way in that.
Well, I think you could have an America first attitude with and also at the same time like an inclusive attitude of working together.
Well, that's like, that's the phrase should be America together.
America together. Yeah, we take care of your people first. That's important, obviously, because you got to take care of the people that live in your country, but also we should be working together.
But that's the trouble with this America first. We're not trading America's first. Look at
no way.
Why are we bombing boats in Venezuela? Why are we giving money to Argentina? That's not America first.
The oil.
It's corruption. America's like, you know, someone's thinking of themselves first and not thinking about the greater good of just not only the world but this country. Mm-hmm. You know, why is it we don't have high-speed rail? That's not America first. How come we don't have health care for everybody? That's not America first. There's all these, you know, just bullshit slogans, but it's not happening. When you look at China, they've been in the last 40 years while we were busy trying to win wars and
Afghanistan,
all these Middle Eastern things. Look what that brought us. Jack crap, you know. And meanwhile, China built all their high-speed rails, built all these amazing engineering things like bridges, and they built their space program. They're going to beat us to the moon, by the way. I hate to tell everybody, everyone's going to hate on it, but China's going to have I believe, this is my prediction, China will have the first moon base and will dominate the moon.
The first moon landing.
No, moon base.
First moon land.
First moon land?
If you believe in the moon land.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I do believe we went to the moon, but I think we dropped the ball. You know, it's we went to the moon in 1969 or something, 70 or 69, and where's our moon base? When I was a kid, I was thinking, like, one day I'm going to be going to the moon base, you know, for vacation. Yeah, right. I'll be going to the Chinese moon base maybe to get some Luckin coffee on the moon.
Yeah.
You know, that's the more reality of it, because they're already positioning themselves in these new technologies that will accomplish that. Like, instead of, you know, their robots, for example, they're leading the world in robots.
Dude, that new one's crazy. The human looking one with the human.
It's sexy. With the girl just walking like some hot chick on the
Donald wishes for a future with robot wives.
I'm gonna have 3 of them.
You have three You should have your commune of robot.
Yeah,
you're a robo-polygamist.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can have as many as you want.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I mean, it's coming. There's no way that's not going to happen. But the important thing that, again, you got to look at the bigger picture. It's not the little picture. What's the bigger picture? And this is how China, how it wins, even in our government, is that when we want to do something here, you know, this hand has to agree with this hand, and then they have to come together and they have to form this thing, and it has to meet all these regulations, and then 5 years later, if you're lucky, you get your permit.
Yeah.
And then you got to go through all these things to build, and it takes another 5 years to build. It takes 10 years to build something substantial here, at least.
It's a nightmare.
And if you go to China, it's these two hands are together. So if you say go to Chinese government and says, I want to build a high-speed rail or the biggest bridge over here, or I have this huge city thing I want to build here, and they like the idea, they go, okay,
yeah,
here's your permit, go.
Just don't pocket the money or you might disappear.
You don't want to fuck with them, but they'll go give you the high five and go. Like there's no delaying. It's like, okay, instead of that 10-year period, you didn't have to wait 5 years.
Yeah,
it's
you're building something that's going to grow.
And then instead of taking 5 years to build, they usually build it in like half the time. So
it's crazy.
2.5 years later, you have something that would have taken 10 years here. They built it 2 years.
Didn't you tell me something that China isn't allowing automated vehicles because they don't want to ruin the taxi driver?
There's this company called Huawei.
Yeah.
And they are like the Apple of China. They basically build smartphones and all this tech.
I hear the phones are nice too.
They have all the technology from everything over there. So this smartphone company, which is like their Apple, you might say, now makes cars.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this, think about this, a smartphone company that makes these high-tech devices making automobiles. So again, the way China thinks, it's like this hand and this hand comes together, and so you have these super high-tech automobiles. They're like smartphones. And I was in one when I was there. This guy took me to lunch in a Huawei, like a minivan or SUV, and it was, oh my God, it was like I get in there and there's the hand on the handrest next to me in the back seat. It looks like a smartphone built into the armrest.
In the back seat?
Yeah, and for both of them, not just one. Each one of us had in the back seat our own little smart. And then the thing's got LiDAR. It sees every human, every dog, every bicycle. You basically see a LiDAR image of everything, even in the parking lot. You go to a parking lot, we're parking a restaurant, and you see every parked car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in detail, it's almost like
I've seen it because I was in the Waymos here. They got the same thing in the back. Waymo self-driving. You just see the LiDAR. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It captures everything.
So they actually have. Now this is again how China thinks. Like here we have Uber, and Uber is going to lose a lot of their. Eventually, they're going to lose their jobs probably because Waymo is going to take over, there'll be other.
I think it's already happening.
Tesla bot.
Yeah.
I think
Waymo's like $1 more. Like when I look at the comparisons, like sometimes I'll hop
what is
on.
it? Robo taxi's coming. I think the taxi will be.
I think it's already in Austin.
It'll be in the year 2050. They're going to have them rolled out.
2050.
Yeah. The full self-driving will.
Yeah, I don't trust the Tesla self-driving because they use cameras.
Well, that's the thing is that they're trying to save money and skimp on your life.
Yeah.
Based to try and save money instead of having. They have one system to recognize objects on the road where Waymo has 3 systems.
Yeah.
And I would rather trust my life in a 3-system vehicle instead of a 1-system vehicle.
I've probably been in a Waymo like 6-7 times now. I mean, they drive great. Yeah. Better than LA drivers in the rain.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
This driverless thing is turning out to be a good thing for safety and all things. But here's what China, this is kind of cool. Like this, again, this is just this different thinking. So they already have the technology to make the cars. They're already building cars that have full self-driving with LiDAR. None of this Tesla camera shit. It's like actual like Waymo type technology in their driverless vehicles.
Yeah.
But what they realize is that if they roll this out, because they already have the technology, all these Uber, they don't have Uber in China. They have something called Didi. So Didi is the Chinese Uber, same concept. So they realize that all these Didi drivers, there's tons of them, they will lose their jobs because they already have the technology to replace them. So they made it illegal to have driverless Didis.
Yeah.
Because they want to save, they're trying to protect the drivers. They're trying to protect the people that have jobs doing that.
Yeah, that won't happen here. Uber's going to...
Yeah, here we're going to, who cares? You know, it's...
I mean, I can already feel it myself. I'd rather take a Waymo than take an Uber.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Well, what they are going to do though, this is their little kind of come back around to the driverless, is that Didi can have driverless at this point anyway.
Personal cars.
But if you buy like that Huawei that I was in, that has driverless, and so now if you own the car, you don't need a driver anymore.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. So they're not stopping that technology. They're just trying to protect their people, and they're trying to roll it out to people that have money to buy a Huawei or something that has this technology. So it's their way of thinking is sort of, because they don't have this, like, one of the problems we have with our government, we got this now, the right and the left and the center. It's like as we look at life like a sports team. It's like the right, the red's winning, the blue's winning, and we need to kill them because they're bad and they're evil. It's not like that in China. It's like it's just one organism that's helping itself in every way. So instead of like one hand saying I'm stronger than you, these two hands sync up together. So you have government and private enterprise. Because people will say, well, what about billionaire? I want to be a billionaire. How can I be a billionaire? China has more growing number of billionaires, I think, than any other country right now. I don't know if the exact number or if that's true, but they have tons of billionaires. So you can actually, so it's sort of like this hybrid between communism, I guess, and capitalism. So you can be a billionaire in China, but you still play by their rules. And their rules make it so that it favors the people in general, you know, and it's not perfect for sure, but it's definitely, I have to say, I think it works better than here for a lot of things.
It's actually not true. China does not have the most billionaires. The United States holds that position, but
they're rising.
So the U.S. leads the world with around 902 billionaires.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
China follows in second place with fewer, around 450 to 470.
But they're growing faster.
Yeah.
So that means they may surpass us in billionaires, which is kind of it debunks this idea that, oh, you're in communism, you have to give all your money to the government. That's not true.
Well, but don't cross them.
Well, yeah, you definitely don't want to cross their government. Yeah, this is one thing we can do here that you can't do in China. I can say, fuck any president.
That's the most beautiful thing about this country that we need to keep, which we're starting to lose right now.
Well, yeah, and the first time I feel that you could get in trouble by saying that.
That's why I just said ICE might come knocking at your door for talking shit about
bring them
America.
On. Bring them on.
Yeah, come over
bitches.
Here. Yeah, east.
Try and find me.
Yeah, that's crazy. But you eat any good food out there? Like you like Peking duck or?
Okay. So here's another thing that's different in China. Why maybe people should consider doing business with them is that they treat you like really well. You go when I used to make trucks here, you'd have to go to like 5 different places at least to make a truck, because nobody makes just trucks. There's a foundry, there's a metal guy, there's a bushing guy, there's a drilling guy, there's a painting guy. These are all separate buildings, separate businesses. It was such a pain.
Yeah.
You have to hire a production guy just to handle that. Otherwise, you'd be doing that every day.
That's crazy. You had
you
had such a big team. I remember when I was coming by the warehouse when I was a kid. It was like
23 people.
So many people.
I had 23 people
Yeah.
run my businesses.
Yeah.
And in China, it's a one-stop shop. I go to the truck guy. He makes that. I get the truck, just one stop. I don't have to go to 5 factories.
Yeah.
That's a huge time saver. It's a huge money saver, and the quality's better at the end because it's not like one is off and it's a little. You got to compensate because this is not perfect. That's not perfect. That's how it used to be when I made my trucks here. There was a lot of defects as a result of all these different processes, and if one didn't do it right, that could screw up a whole batch.
Mm-hmm.
Where in China you get the one-stop shop, so it's like everything is by a truck maker, so it's like it's perfect by the time I get it. Yeah, here and there we get a defect, but nothing like it was before. So the quality
pretty smooth considering how many trucks we've brought in, and it's not bad,
not very little, very low percentage.
Yeah, most of the brakes were just because of the design, which we fixed in the locker too.
So the quality is better, the price is lower, and it's less time, which is the most valuable thing for me is time. I don't want to spend the rest of my life just developing a single truck. I want to just come out with a new truck and boom, I've got a new truck the next day, which is pretty much how it is in China.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I went to China was to work on, as I'm always working on a new project, certainly always working on a new idea for truck stuff or truck hardware engineering for skateboarding. That's kind of my thing. I want to keep progressing and never stop. And while I'm here on this earth, I want to make skateboarding as good as possible, what my contribution can be. And the way I can do that is by dealing with my factory that I have there, is that they know my visions. They like the idea of me pushing the engineering and coming up with new ideas. So this is makes it possible that when I leave this earth, hopefully I'll have left more products that help improve skateboarding. And they just treat you well. I mean, like even this little nice scarf they gave me at the factory, and they put me in a 5-star hotel. They feed me. I mean, that I never got any of that working with factories here. It was kind of like, show me the money, and then you will build your stuff.
That business is different.
Yeah,
it's pretty incredible how these days you can go from like ideation to like an actual physical thing so much faster than any time in history. It's like, I got an idea.
Yeah.
If you got the money and you have the resources, you can make that idea happen.
Well, China is the manufacturing country. Okay, so you have to look at it differently. It's not trying to compete with China anymore. It's just using them for what they're good at. Like in business, you have to find the most efficient way to accomplish your goal.
Yeah.
So whether you're building a rocket or you're building a car or you're building a skateboard truck, your job is, my job as a business owner is to, how can I make this as cheap as possible and as good as possible, and come up with something maybe unique. That's sort of my interpretation of what I do. And this is why I go to China, because I can get this done very quick, very fast, and they have the capabilities of providing new technology ideas and helping me engineer it, as opposed to here, unfortunately, they're not interested in your success. They're not interested in putting their neck out to experiment with a new thing for your truck here. They want you to pay them money so their business grows, and then see you later. That's pretty much it. And it's unfortunate because that makes it so that there's no
collaboration.
Yeah, there's no collaboration. So it's
true collaboration.
So it's an obvious choice that I would rather go do business with China to make stuff. And they can make anything. They make anything. I mean, you name it, they can make it there, and they could probably make it better and cheaper and faster. Anything. So that ship sailed years ago. And people said, bring it back to the United States. You will lose badly. I mean, you if you try and do that, you're going to end up bankrupt pretty much. I'll just save you the time and money just to tell you, don't. Now, that doesn't mean everything. Like if you want to build a special guitar, if you're painting a painting or you're sculpting, there's certain things in the U.S. that are specialty things. You might even say somebody makes a buck knife that's better in the United. Okay, certain things like that may be there, but you look at any bigger company like Harley Davidson, Ford Motor, anything that's big or even American name like that, most of their stuff, they outsource a lot of their parts or most of their parts, if not make the entire thing in China, because it makes more business sense because they're trying to. People say, so they're so greedy. No, they're trying to get it to the consumer for the best quality, the lowest price. The consumer doesn't, at the end of the day, look at the label so much anymore to see if it's made in the USA or made in China. They just look at it and go like, that's a really cool thing for a low price. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I shop. I don't sit there and go like, was it made in Brazil? Was it made here? I don't give a fuck.
I mean, look, there's certain things that I'd rather buy from like a small business. Like, you know, for instance, like if there's like if I have a neighbor who is makes coffee mugs, I'd rather buy it from that neighbor than go on Amazon or go buy a coffee cup. But
like I said, there are
certain things that are like specialty items.
But they've got to be like, there's got to be a story for it. For example, like if this coffee cup, like this one I bought, I paid a lot of money for it because I like, you know, it's basic coffee cup, but it has a cool logo that I like on there. Some that I thought it was, you know, something I'm interested in. So I will pay a lot more money for. I think I paid. This is a coffee cup. I think I paid $26 or something for this coffee cup because I like.
That's an expensive coffee cup.
Yeah. I mean, who would buy? But you know, I could get this in China for $1 or something. You know, whatever. So there's certain things in the, like you say, because I want to support this thing. That's cool, but you've got to tell a story to make it. Why is it a $26 coffee cup? And who am I giving?
100%. There's always going to be things that are American made that I will support and be proud of.
Yeah.
To use because they're good.
But at the end of the day, you've got a kid, right?
Yeah.
You got to feed the family first. So, you know, this $26 coffee cup may not be in priority if you've got to buy some food and diapers. You know, maybe you can do just as well with the $1 coffee cup.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I mean that's the majority of probably the people in this country right now. It's like they're a little worried about where they're going to, you know, how is it going to end up? You know,
for sure.
Are they going to keep their job, or is there going to be replaced by a robot?
Diapers and formula are expensive.
Are tariffs going to, you know, really start to kick in, and everything's going to be super expensive for holiday season?
Mm-hmm.
These are things that are on the top of mind right now. So we've got to reposition ourselves and look at the world differently now. It's changing so fast with AI, with this BRICS thing that's going on in the countries, and with the United States, our very, very shaky situation in government. I think that we have to be prepared for making some big changes. And I am, for sure. There's no question that after my trip to China, it's just like, okay, I know my goal is to, you know, as an American entrepreneur, my goal is to, in the bigger, longer run, is to sell my product and cool whatever I can create to Chinese, not just the U.S. market. Because China,
skateboarding's growing in China.
China wants to be like the United States. Like we talk about this Luckin coffee. You know, Starbucks is going to have a run for their money soon, because they didn't reinvent themselves enough to where it was something significantly cooler than the same old thing every day. This brand called Luckin in China, which is basically, you know, you think about China, they're not known for coffee. That's not part of their culture. They're more tea and other stuff. But here you have a country that copied or looked, they thought it was cool. Coffee. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool how Westerners drink coffee. We should do that. So they created their own thing called Luckin, but they added a technological twist, and it's blowing up. Mm-hmm. Like maybe Ryan's thinking of buying stocks in it. I was telling him about it, and he looked at it. He's going like, shit. maybe this is a good time. I'm thinking, I bet you within a couple of years you're going to see Luck In coffee all over the place here.
I think the concept is interesting, and also they've pretty much gotten rid of half of their staff by not having cashier.
Yeah, they're by using technology, they're making it more of a seamless thing to get your coffee. Plus, they're giving their customers the
more control.
They have some say in
that's my favorite thing about it is that idea alone is that, like, you know, Starbucks obviously has seasonal beverages and you can get your pumpkin spice latte, but they choose the menu. I like how Luck In, the customer gets to vote on what the next flavors are going to be or what stays on the menu. Kind of similar to what we do with our trucks.
Exactly. I'm trying to copy the Chinese.
Yeah, and
I want to say, like, hey, why can't we do that with GrindKing?
Yeah.
And make it so that you out there have a say in what we make, and we listen to it, and we
I believe that's our biggest strength is that you know, we can't listen to everything that you guys say. We got to do the things that work, but at the end of the day, we really are listening to feedback. That's how the Locker 2 happened. That's how everything we do in the future is going to happen.
And that's how things that I'm working on in China, my top secret stuff is based on what I've been listening to. A lot of the people that have been saying
you
things,
got top secret stuff going on.
You know, a lot of the, you know, comments that were negative. Thank you out there for the negative comments, because that helps me go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
Thanks to the haters. Haters are actually helping me build things for them. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Somebody was talking the other day about bringing rims back. Is that something we're going to do soon? I think that
was part of my conversation out there is bringing rims back and some other stuff. So there's definitely a bunch of cool stuff in the works
for sure.
And 2026 is going to be
the year.
The year
of LGK.
Yeah. The dragon meets the eagle.
Yeah. Others follow, we invent.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped it.
Yeah. Others follow. That's our new tagline. Others follow.
We invent.
And there's nothing, you know, again. Following there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know, it's kind of cheesy when they knock you off right away, but I mean, I copied Indy at the beginning, and certainly I like their geometry, so I have to admit I copied a similar geometry. Indy's copied the inverted kingpin. You know, that's how the people do. That's how businesses do. They look at something, they see something like they hopefully they don't just copy it exactly. I didn't copy an Indy truck exactly, but I made it a little different so that it had some feel, you might say. Like I think our trucks turn as well, if not better, to some people than maybe Indy, or it's certainly as good. And I think that's something that's
a good plug for our next episode too, right there.
Yeah, Indy's a good turning truck. I'm going to say it from GrindKing. Indy's a great turning truck, and I think other truck companies may have copied that geometry, because I as a truck designer, I can see that, you know, there's the kingpin angle and the pivot angle create the geometry pretty much. And that geometry is pretty similar across most trucks these days. You have a little variance, especially for a lower truck. I will say the new GrindKing truck, I'll give it you know, there's some new stuff works, but people have been saying I should make a little bit lower truck. So, you know, I've been listening.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of, you know, my big takeaway from China is that you don't compete with them. Just, you know, learn. And, you know, that's the wisest thing you do. Don't, you know, in a sense, do what they did with us. Sort of, let's start copying them in certain areas. Not everything, but there's certain things that they do that should be, you know, it should be take note of what's happening. And I think that we'll see this over the next few years. We're going to see the world shifting in its geopolitical thing. You know, a lot of that sounds kind of boring for a lot of people, politics and it always, here's the thing is, my entire life I was never interested in politics. I had no interest. It was boring as fuck. And here's what I think it should be boring. Politics, if you have to pay attention to what's going on every day just to, you know, survive.
I miss the days.
When
we weren't paying
something's
attention.
Wrong.
Yeah.
When you're worried about what the you know, next day is going to be based on a president's decision or something. That's not good. I want to go back to where it's just boring as fuck. I don't care. I got better things to do than to look at the news on politics.
The most exciting thing that happened was George Bush getting a shoe thrown at him. And everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Somebody.
Yeah, I mean, like when I think
him.
about I mean, I didn't like Biden, by the way. I thought he was kind of a weak president, but it was definitely boring. I didn't watch the news. That was about as boring as it gets. Biden's talking. But that was good. But I like that. I don't want to sit there and worry about what is he gonna do today? Is he gonna drop the bomb? I mean, we want boring presidents, please.
Oh no, he fell off his bike.
Yeah.
He's unfit.
Yeah, that was about the big news. It's like, he fell down again. Okay.
Yeah. The biggest news was like his son made the news more than he did.
Well, one of the things he made, one of the big mistakes he made is that he didn't. He was trying to compete with China or something. He had this weird thing with China too. It was like they don't want to admit that China's beating them somehow. They always want to be like, we're a strong president. We're strong. We're in the America first, strongest country. Meanwhile, other places are just going like.
See, you said it on FTWG. Donald just said I didn't like President Biden. So we're not libtards. We land somewhere in the middle always.
I like presidents. If I have to say who, I don't want to talk too much politics.
I like Theodore Roosevelt.
There's certain presidents that have their good speak. That's one thing. They speak really well, and what they say isn't glamour talk about I'm building the ballroom and I don't want to hear that. I want to hear about what are you doing that's going to help these small businesses like me, or are you going to tax me with tariffs? Fuck you. Yeah. No, I want to hear I'm getting a benefit, like, the small business, we're going to give you extra money or give you a tax break. How about that? Yeah. To help me.
Now I got to listen to Who Blew Bubba.
Yeah, Who's Bubba?
Who's Bubba, man? Is it a horse? Is it Bill? Like, who's Bubba?
Yeah. Well, the big beautiful Bill and big beautiful Bill might be some clues there.
I bet Bill Clinton's packing. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's just a nightmare. It's like a fantasy. I can't believe that's what we're talking about right now. But it's also hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be funny if it ends up being that, and it's like the big beautiful Bill was literally what it was.
I saw a meme the other day. It was like, this was his first taste of presidency.
That's just gonna be so. You might be able to do a whole other podcast on just the jokes on that,
dude.
But anyway, it was like I say, I got a little thing I'm putting on Instagram that shows kind of my quick trip through there. I was only there for I did a crazy marathon trip because I left. It was only like 3 nights in China, but I went to 3 different factories in North and South China. In those 3 nights I was in China, I went from like South China to North China, back to South China, and then flew straight here, a 21-hour trip.
I wonder if shout out to Off Grid Skater. He's doing one of his global trip around the world. I wonder if he's stopping in China.
He went to Thailand, I think.
He went to Thailand, but I wonder if he's stopping in China.
He should go. I think there's my next trip to China. I'm going to do more videos and maybe try and visit a skate park or something. But they're it's funny because I saw stuff in China, like you see a billboard and there's a skateboarder on it. I didn't see any skateboarders actually riding on the streets.
Well, but they're prepping though for the Olympics. Like,
but you can see it in their marketing. Yeah. Skateboarding is cool.
Yeah,
skateboarding has a cool image in here and all over the world. We skateboarders, I think, lead the culture of cool.
I think the United States has a lot of cool. I think a lot of cultures they take from our culture.
We may not have manufacturing, the lead the world in manufacturing, but we probably lead the world in cool.
But we're cool.
I think we lead the world.
Keep America cool.
Keep America cool.
Keep America cool.
That's a good one. I like to keep America cool because America does have cool. We have to. We don't want to lose that. We can sell. Cool can be packaged and sold. Mm-hmm. And places like China that have 5 times as many people do the math. Here you go. There's your opportunity. If you can make something that they see, oh, look, that's cool. America, cool. Skateboarding. All of a sudden, China now has money. Let's imagine how much business you could rack up in China.
You know what else we have? I think we have funny.
America's funny.
Actually, Australia might. Yeah, they're good at their banter, but United States, we got funny.
Good sense of humor.
Yeah,
we still have a sense of humor. We still
haven't lost it. I can't believe it. Yeah.
There's things here you gotta. What do we have that we still dominate in? That you're right.
Yeah.
We dominate in cool. I think we
and
dominate in funny. I mean, some people may.
They might disagree.
They may disagree.
Yeah, we almost lost the funny for a little bit.
But if you
this
look
whole
at
cancel culture era.
I mean, if you look at Hollywood,
soft.
yeah. I mean, look at how things like brands, for example, the coolest brands. You know, you've got Apple here. You've got Harley Davidson. You've got what's the iconic brand that will always be cool. If you're a cowboy, a Stetson hat. If you're
Marlboro.
You're a smoker.
You're a smoker.
No, that's not so cool anymore.
It was cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have the best weed.
That's why I started.
We have the best. We have a lot of cool things that I mean,
yeah,
America's cool.
We got a lot of cool.
There's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, a lot of things that were created that became cool originated from here.
Yeah.
So that's something that let's keep that.
Speaking
going.
of skateboarding in China, did you see that video? There was like a dad and a kid, and they were like training to basically like prepping him for the Olympics, and like the dad was like beating the kid up when he didn't land a trick.
In China?
Yeah,
China. I didn't see that.
It was like a viral because they get serious when it comes to.
Yeah, well, they may have the best
athletics.
skateboarders once they get into it because they have five times many people. Odds are they'll have some good skaters.
Yeah, but this one was messed up. It went viral for
and they
bad
might
things.
take it very seriously.
Yeah, they took it seriously. He was like beating his son because he like wasn't like landing some trick. I'll find the video.
That's
it was brutal. Oh, that will happen here too, I'm sure.
Yeah,
like athlete dads and their
well,
kids,
I've known in a lot of skate parents that try and turn their sons into the next. They want them to be the next Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
and I some of that is
brutal.
Good, but some of it I look at and it's like, it's not so good.
It doesn't fit skateboarding either. It's like supposed to be so much individualism, and just like to turn that into like this serious thing just doesn't make it cool anymore.
Well, it can actually turn a kid off to what he could become because now it's like he's got this expectation to do something. So you got to be careful with that. But there's still a lot of there's another opportunity ahead through all this chaos for people to just got my message is to pay attention to a little bit what's happening outside of the United States because it's going to affect you and you need to be ready.
Yeah.
And as a small business, there's opportunities in this moment.
For sure.
And not just China. China is just one. That was just because I went there, so I have all this stuff to say. But there's other countries that are also making some big moves. I mean, that you would not expect. I mean, like countries like Africa and a lot of other countries. They're seeing opportunity in this new age of green energy and robots and AI. The AI thing is kind of scary because it's there. Like we were talking about this morning about that bubble may burst, and if that bursts, that's going to be the stock market and everything's there. Well,
I'm just worried when Michael Burry is shorting the market.
Who's that?
He was you ever see the movie The Big Short? It was the 2008 housing crisis.
Oh, okay.
And he knew it was going to happen, and he shorted the market. Right. He was right, and he's been right before, and he's basically saying that we're in a bubble right now. I believe it. It feels weirdly similar to other tech bubbles that have happened in the past because there's just so much money being thrown into this stuff, and it's like there's an AI app for everything. Everything.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the internet when it crashed. It sort of like crashed at the beginning, but then it grew into.
Yeah, I mean, I use AI every day. And ChatGPT is slow as hell right now. I don't know what is going on.
Yeah, it has been slower.
It's been so slow.
Yeah, I know.
So slow, and it's too agreeable. It's like pissing me off. I have to like prompt it to say like, hey, like I gave it this like memory prompt the other day. I said you're my mentor, but you're a tough mentor. You need to be tough on me. You know, you don't always agree with everything I say. And I also told it no more compliments, because every single time I wrote something, it would compliment me. That's a great idea, Ryan. It's just pissing me off, because I know it's just not every single one of my ideas is great. I know that for a fact.
No, I don't mind the compliment part about it. I kind of like that a little bit. But you're right. Maybe it should.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should be dissecting what you say and like like combing through it like a fine comb. You know, it should be looking at every aspect and telling you maybe what is off about your idea.
Yeah,
what you're thinking, so you can kind of reverse engineer it. Because then if it's agreeable all the time, like you don't really know when your ideas are good or when they're, you know, there might be something off about them.
Yeah.
And lately it's just been like compliment, good idea, good thinking. Unless all my ideas are good, maybe
your ideas are good. That's maybe.
So, Tony Hawk is trying to get vert skating into the Olympics. What do you think about that?
Well, I think anything that's skateboarding in Olympics is probably going to be good for the sport. I know that a lot of people won't agree about skateboarding being in the Olympics. I think skateboarding should be everywhere it can be. I mean, why not?
I think it's be cool, because I think vert and like mega ramp, I feel like that's perfect for competition. It's like easy to see that. You know,
I mean, bottom line is some people will like it, some people won't. Don't watch it if you don't like it. Don't watch the Olympics. That's the beauty of the U.S. Still, we're still free to do what we want and choose what we want. So, let's the Olympics. I think if having skateboarding in the Olympics is something that is only going to help the sport in the long run. Yeah, especially with countries like China that will now see it as like, wow, it's an Olympic sport. So it may, and that might be the catalyst to really boost it in China, which I think will be great for business. Mm-hmm. So
more skateboarding in China. What's that sport in the Winter Olympics where they like, you know, they like take like the thing on the ice?
I don't know. But there's a lot of sports.
It's like the weirdest sport. There's like weird sports.
There's some weird, like, I don't want to say the word gay, but there are some things in the Olympics that are like the flag twirling thing. I mean, come on, like compare that to skateboarding. It's kind of, I mean, I guess some people might find, I don't want to bag on that because some people might think the flag twirling is great.
Shoot, I'd look like a dumbass if I started doing that flag twirling stuff. It'd be hilarious. That's like a comedy in itself. Can you imagine trying to do that?
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't do it.
So, you know, there's, I mean, but that's, it's very just an opinion. Yeah. I want to do a quick shout out to, I think we're going to try and do this more often, is shout out to certain shops that start carrying our stuff. Mm-hmm. So in Venice, which is really the hometown of GrindKing, where I started in '88, was in Venice, and I want to move back there sometime soon. But in Venice now, they used to carry it before, but the lockers are available at the Venice skate in shop right by the park in on Windward.
Is it on the Circle?
It's on the Venice store is the skate shop there. Venice Skate, I think it's right there. If you go down Windward, which is the street going to the skate park, it's to the left when you go to the boardwalk. Okay, it's kind of left. It's a small little shop. They used to have two, but they condensed to one.
Towards Muscle Beach area.
Yeah. This woman, Morena, she's owned that operation for a long time, and now her husband and her son Ruben run the shop. Or I think Ruben's their husband. I don't want to mess that up. But anyway, her son and her husband run it. And give them some support if you're down there, and get some lockers over there if you're Venice. And
shout out to one of our test pilots. I just noticed before we started the episode, Big Deck Energy. He just came out with a Locker 2 review.
Okay.
He just put it out. So go watch that review if you're still on the fence about our trucks. Go watch that. I'm going to watch it right after this. And what else?
That's it.
Is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. You tired?
No, I'm recovering from a cold. We both got a cold,
Yeah.
so I could a little bit of stuffing. I don't feel sick anymore.
I feel way better today.
Yeah.
It's been raining here in LA like for the past 3 days. It's crazy. Yeah, it's chaos.
We get rain in California it's like this weird rare thing that happens, but when it happens it pours.
Yeah, the Californians and Angelinos, we're definitely princesses when it comes to that. We don't like the rain.
Weather is
we don't believe in weather.
LA so
we don't
special
have seasons.
is the weather, but there's a lot more. This is another thing I noticed that's kind of sad to see coming back home from China is that there's homeless everywhere in LA now. It's like it looks like we're the Tijuana of maybe in a lot of other places in the United States, New York and San Francisco. There's there's a lot of homeless here. This is what makes me a little bit upset with our country is that how did this get to that where you have these streets all over the place and there's people just in tents on the sidewalk and they got shit all over there. It looks like Tijuana style. No offense to Tijuana, but it just looks really third world. And then you go to a country like China, I didn't see one freaking homeless wherever I went. It was clean, no homeless anywhere. Everywhere I looked when I was driving in a Didi or whatever, you just look to the left, right, and you see cranes. Mm-hmm. Like you think that this country already blew up. It looks like they're just starting. There's everywhere you look, there's cranes, and they're building these skyscrapers everywhere. Yeah. It's like they're in this middle of this booming economy right now. And you come back to the United States, and it's just like you see these people living in these tents everywhere. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, LA is a trippy place. If you've never been to Los Angeles, like you can be on one street that's just basically a homeless encampment, and then you walk one block, and it's like the wealthiest, most elite neighborhood in the world.
Yeah, well, that's Venice.
Beautiful.
Venice is like that, or it used to be worse. Now it's gotten maybe a little better, but it used to be the tourist attraction.
I mean, Venice is so bougie now. It's become become so bougie.
But there was
it's
that
lost
period.
So much of its
there was
grit.
that period.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's bougie next to homeless.
Yeah, it used to just be gritty, and everybody looked like they were homeless.
Well, it used to be when I first started GrindKing, Venice was kind of a scary area.
Yeah.
It was we used to call us one part of it called Ghost Town, where it was these few streets, and this is like literally right off the main bougie street, which is called Abbot Kinney, where I had one of my first offices for GrindKing was on Abbot Kinney, and it wasn't even a good street at that point.
It was when the Whole Foods was still a pick and save,
and now it's like one of the most expensive streets in.
Oh, it's crazy! Abbot Kinney used to just be a bunch of mom and pop shops.
Yeah, and I used to have my GrindKing warehouse office was right on Abbot.
We should go there. Let's go film a video.
Yeah, I
go
should
show the original GrindKing.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity back then to buy it for like $300,000.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
It would have been like I would have been able to like just
chill
and
you wouldn't chill. You can't chill.
I'm a risk taker, so I've made a lot of money and I've lost more. But long story short is that the street used to be. Here's a funny example of that street, how bad it was back then, and this is 1980. Maybe 1991-ish, 1990. Yeah.
Okay, so this is like before the Abbot Kinney like hip boom.
So I used to park I had that time a Z28. It was like a Camaro, and I had it parked on the Abbot Kinney right there in front of my office, so I could see it.
Yeah.
Because the neighborhood was kind of a little sketchy, so I like to park it where I could see it. And so I'm like working, and then I look up, it's gone. Where'd it go? It's just like I was going, oh my god, someone
like
just stole my
second?
like literally. It's like it's right there, and I'm doing my thing, and I look up, and it's gone.
Yeah,
I'm going like, oh my god, like where someone stole my car.
Yeah.
So I was just like pissed, and I was just like, I had a bike, and I was going, I bet you it's in Ghost Town.
Yeah,
which is this area we call Ghost Town because at night it's like a ghost town because it was so scary with all these gangbangers in there.
Yeah,
you didn't want to walk through there.
Yeah, you hear guns going off at night.
If you walk there at night, it's like I'm a target.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to rob me. So it was like that kind of a neighborhood. And so I'm thinking, but I was all like,
well, but before you keep going, for people who've never been to LA and they don't understand, is that area at one point got basically occupied by Snapchat, Google, all the big tech companies.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there.
Now,
this is before.
Right?
This is before.
So
so you could buy stuff cheap there. It was a major mistake that I didn't buy my building back then. And it's what, if in retrospect, I would be a multi-billionaire with all the missed opportunities. But then anyway, so my car's gone, and I'm got this I'm not like feeling like death wish, like I'm like going like I'm gonna go vigilante and I'm gonna get this I'm gonna find my car. And so I just got on my bike and I said, I'm gonna go ride through Ghost Town. I bet you it's in Ghost Town somewhere. Yeah. So I just start like going one street after next, just just seeing
just
where
cruising
just,
through to see if
just random, right?
Yeah.
Like I was on a mission. Boom, there it is. I see it on one of the streets. I turn on my bike, and there's my car right in front of this house. Going, oh my God, there it is, motherfucker. And I had a spare key on there, so I went up to it and I was looking around. I got my spare key.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and there's some of his shit. This guy who stole some stuff.
Yeah.
Some of his stuff was inside. I was just like, motherfucker, bye. So I get in there, drive it off. So I literally got my car back myself in less than probably an hour.
Stole your car back.
Yeah, I stole. Now it happened again with a truck I had.
Yeah,
and same thing. I got
it
back.
Thing.
I got it back both times. I got my vehicle back by just going into Ghost Town.
That was like the Wild West back then.
It was Wild West. Yeah. And then what happened is what you said happened, and the tech companies, it became Silicon Beach, they call it, and it totally Snapchat and all these other kooky companies went into Venice.
I think the reason that happened, the reason I think Venice became cool was right by the beach, but also it's like all the artists started moving in because it was cheap real estate, right? So it's like you had this whole like art boom in Venice before the tech companies even came in.
It was bohemian.
It was very bohemian
neighborhood with all this stuff, cool stuff. It's like Jim Morrison used to, that vibe of like the creative people would live in Venice, which is kind of true. Yeah. And then it got all super techie, kooky. And then it lost its cool, edgy thing, and the prices of everything went skyrocketing. And that Abbott Kinney Street, where I used to have my original warehouse, you can't even touch it. Like that thing I could have bought for $300,000 is probably like $5 million or something.
It's like $3,000 a square foot.
Yeah, it's
probably
just like way out of reach for anybody.
Yeah, now Abbott Kinney is like Tom's. Adidas.
Yeah,
right? It's like a giant
super trendy, like foo-foo thing.
Intelligentsia coffee.
Yeah, you walk down there just to like try and pretend you're hip, now.
Yeah. Everybody looks homeless, but they're multimillionaires. Yeah, like they all dress homeless.
Yeah, but then COVID happened, and then this whole expensive thing, people were like literally putting up tents all over the beach and on the sidewalks, and it became to where you have this multi-billion-dollar corporation next to like homeless people on the street. Yeah. So it was like this real juxtaposed thing.
And then Snapchat moved out.
Well,
they went to Ocean Park.
I think they got booted by everyone protesting.
Yeah. Do you remember was it Billabong or Quicksilver that went into like where there's Erewhon Market now? It was like the Quicksilver store, and as soon as or the Billabong store. I think it was Billabong store.
It didn't last long.
They moved in, and just like the night they moved in, the whole building just got covered with graffiti. Like, get out of Venice. And they didn't.
Yeah. Well, Venice had that, Dogtown. That's the roots of Dogtown were like from this neighborhood.
Yeah, it still
For
does.
those who don't know, that skateboarding kind of, the epicenter was really Venice and Santa Monica, more so Venice maybe, because it's just so raw. It was. Yeah. And then it became this foo-foo shit, and then now it's kind of like after COVID and all these homeless, it's kind of like
a weird combo now.
Which is maybe good for me to want to move back there, because I'm hoping that the prices is going to start dropping, because it's just way too inflated.
Get a nice combination of matcha lattes and fentanyl.
Yeah,
for your morning breakfast.
I know. Yeah, it's super sketchy, but it's kind of sad to see our country like not being handled it right, because these homeless people, why are there so many homeless people? Why are there so many fentanyl people. It's just something. There's a problem here.
It's cyclical too. You know, that will change, and then we'll run into another problem. Everything runs up and down. But right now we're in the hole.
Yeah. So you gotta, my advice to myself is you gotta start looking ahead. Where's the next step?
Jump on opportunities right now. This is a good time.
Play your cards smart because it's gonna be changing very fast.
So I think that's a good place to cut off the episode. So thank you guys. El GrindKing, tell them.
Hit that like and subscribe.
Well, he says it now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
he showed up somewhere here.
Okay, he pops up. Oh yeah,
he pops up. Yeah. Hit that like and subscribe.
So,
that's gonna hit that like and subscribe. I think I got it right. Okay. Anyway, episode 41 FTWG. See you guys soon. Peace out. Boom.